I'm Alan. I own a 45-foot narrowboat, have an interest in industrial heritage, transport and technology, and invite you to join me as I cruise, repair and maintain my boat, and visit events and places of historic interest. I'm just coming down to look at the stock planks, as some more work was done to them yesterday. When I looked earlier in the week, I noticed that the plank along here wasn't seated properly. I didn't know why, so I didn't mention it at all, but it was quite visible. I now understand that a boat turning around actually hit it. That wouldn't have helped, would it? So yesterday, some of the planks were reset, but not only that, a new tarpaulin has been put in, and also they've used ash. Ash is often put down as it fills in the gaps between the planks of wood and should help make it watertight. That's a well-tried and trusted method from the old days. With the new tarpaulin, it's much, much better. And I'm really pleased they've gone to the trouble to do that and also to reset the planks. It just didn't look right the other day, but I didn't like to say anything as I didn't know the circumstances of why they were slightly raised on one side. I've just arrived at Napton Reservoirs. I've never been here before. There are two interconnected reservoirs here. I really don't know what I'm going to find when I get to the top there. Let's take the easy path. Excitement mounts as I walk up. It will soon be coming into view. And there is water. Perhaps not as much as there should be, but it's certainly a lot better than many I've seen. I can see in the distance the opening between the two reservoirs. I'm just going to have a wander to the far end. I'm not actually sure where the outlet is here to feed the canal. I expect it's behind me. I say that because there are a number of locks behind me, the Calcut locks. From memory, I think there's 3 locks there. I have been through them some years ago. Having just looked at a map, I think the feeder channel, or one of them, could be directly opposite, just about here. You can see where the water is sort of recessed, and there was something at that point on the map. So looking that way, and then looking back, it's fairly central in this section of the reservoir, I would say. As I've got time, I'm going to walk around and see if I can get over there. I'm not actually sure whether it's possible, but we'll give it a go. We can see the reservoir is lower, but doesn't look as bad as some of the others I've shown you recently. Still looks very healthy, doesn't it? Got a better view now of that recess in the reeds there. Could that be an outlet to the canal? I'm having my doubts now. In the very long distance, I can see a small building with a barrel-shaped roof. And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with where the outlet might be. I'll continue walking around. There's a piled edging along here. And that's what it's protecting. Wonder how many years ago that was done. I can see what looks like a fence in the long distance. That may stop me getting from where I want to go. It's a lovely spot, isn't it? It is tomorrow that the closure of the Buckby locks and the Braunston locks takes effect at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I hope boaters have got themselves sorted and in the right position, ready for those closures. The UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology refers to Napton Reservoirs as a very small freshwater lake, generally very shallow. We can see it's very shallow along here. Mud flats here. Very shallow here as well. This is the fence that I saw up ahead. We're at the very corner of the reservoir here. And look what I've found. A spillway. So when the level is high, the water would come over the top and run down the drain here. All very, very dry, isn't it? Very, very dry. And if we look up there, it does look as though I can walk up that way. I've measured the diameter of the pipe, and this is about 27 inches. My initial thought was, this is a spillway, possibly running into a stream, but having now looked at an old Ordnance Survey map, I realised there was an open channel here feeding the canal, opposite where Wigram's Turn Marina is now located. The Grand Union and Oxford Canals share the water from Braunston Turn to Napton Junction, which was originally owned by the Oxford Canal Company. From the junction onwards, the canal continues as the South Oxford, whilst the Grand Union makes a sharp right turn under the bridge. Looking from the air, the outline of this former open channel can still be seen, and I suspect water is now pipeline fed into the canal. I'm going to carry on. This is the map I'm looking at. I am beginning to wonder whether I can get around. It's looking extremely unlikely, I would say. The red arrow is where I am, and I'm moving up to the right to the green diamond. Having to watch my footing a little bit more along here. Lots of tree trunks have been chopped down along here. Oh, that bit's over. Back to some normality now. Whilst walking around, I hadn't appreciated the extent of the water reeds, and this can be demonstrated by looking at different layers of the current Ordnance Survey maps and from the air looking down. I've got some exceptionally bad news. I can now see a fence across the path. I think that is the end of my walk. Yep, nearly there, but it's looking as though that's it. Fenced in. Sorry about that, everyone. In the long distance, you can see the fishing tent where I started from. So with the fence behind me, it's time to set back. It looks very dry here. So I'm now making my way back. Shame I have to go back the way I've come, but unavoidable. You see things very differently on the way back. There are some Canada geese here blocking my path, and a couple of swans down below. I'm going to leave this visit here for now. I'm not going to walk around to the other side of the reservoir. I think that's for another time, something that I will look forward to doing. I've come down to the slipway to look at the level of water, and we can see there's quite a difference here between the dry part and the wet part. The slipway is very shallow as it goes into the water, and I have been told it would be difficult now to take boats out of the water or put them back in again. Looking along this line here, we can see at least a 3-inch drop. Just walking to the end, don't really know what I'm expecting to see. It was yesterday that the Braunston and Buckby flights closed. Getting a bit windy here. They were due to close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I hope that boaters managed to get where they wanted to be beforehand, because movements now in this local area are indeed very, very restricted. It's a fairly windy day today, occasional sun, but very pleasant. I'm going to go now and look at the closed entrance to the marina, but from the other side. This is my trusty steed for the day. Gets me out and about. Not very often though. Very rare that I actually use it. I can't tell whether there's been any change in the water levels. It looks pretty much the same as before, to my way of thinking, which is obviously good. We don't want either side to go down, certainly not the marina. and hopefully not the canal. I'm going to leave this episode here for now and thank you all for watching. I will be visiting Naseby and Welford Reservoirs again in the next few days, so look out for that vlog. Meanwhile, look after yourselves, your friends and families. Take the utmost care in whatever you're doing. Until next time, bye for now. Bye everyone. Take care.